This is something that took me over a year to learn. So I'm gonna try to save you a year of your life and teach you what I learned and what I wish I knew like over a year ago. So I met up with my cousin recently and we were talking about relationships. And so the topic regarding relationships was happiness. So the goal was happiness because I knew there's like this TEDx talk and this study that went on for like 85 years. It was like the longest study ever on like happiness. You can look it up. I'll put it in the description. But basically the study concluded that how you be happy is through relationships, through meaningful relationships. So this made sense to me, right? I was like, okay, goal, happiness, right? Makes sense. Problem, which is what I had at the time, I felt like I had no friends. I felt like I knew a lot of people, but I didn't really feel like I had friends. Solution, right? Pretty simple. Make more friends. How? That's easy too. Just meet more people. Just go out there and meet more people, right? The common advice that you hear, right? Hey, I need more friends. Okay, just go out there and meet more people. So I spent, like I said, over a year doing this. I went out and I met more people. I went to more events. I put myself out there more. I hosted events. I experimented with different types of events. I invited strangers over to my house. I combined events where I invited my friends and also strangers. And after all this, I just felt really tired because I was like, it's been like a year. What did I really gain? And if I look back at it, I'm like, I gained like one close friend. That's about it, like more or less. And so I was thinking about this. I was like, if I was to rewind time, what would I do differently? Because sure, the goal, where's the sticky here? The goal may have been happiness and the solution may have been to make more friends, right? Which I think is something that a lot of people jump to, including myself. But the problem is where I was caught up because I felt like I had no friends, but I realized that I did. Like the solution here isn't to make more friends. Like sure, if you're starting with nothing, you kind of have to go out there and meet people, but it's choosing people to spend more time with. Right? It's choosing the select people that you think you really vibe with to spend more time with and then get to know them better and then see if that will blossom into a close relationship. Because if you think about it, just from a opportunity perspective, sure, you can put all your time into meeting as many people as possible, which is what I was doing. And then I was like, okay, if I do that, eventually I'm going to meet someone who I'm going to be really close friends with. But it was really unfocused. And if you think about it, if that's what you're doing all the time, if you're optimizing for quantity, if you are trying to meet as many people as possible, you're never going to spend the time needed in order to actually really get to know someone and make quality friends. So this is the whole quality over quantity conversation. So I wrote a really good quote on this when I was scripting this video. You can't make close friends if you make too many of them. That makes sense, right? Does that make sense? Tell me that makes sense. I can't hear you, but like, you know, tell me if that makes sense. So if I was to summarize and rewind time, what lessons do I want to pass off? That is the question for this video. Solution, make more friends. How? Meet more people. But I would change this. I would add a but. And I would say, number one, spend more time with less people, which means put more time and energy into the few select people that you value and that you think you'd want to get to know more and make friends with. And then the second thing, which goes back to what I said about being all over the place, is do things that you actually like and actually care about. Like there were events that I went to where I just went to those events just to meet people. And that's kind of good in the beginning, but as you move on, you start questioning. You're like, why am I going to these events? If the people there are mid, you know, not based, not goated, and you go to these events, you're like, I don't want to say it's a waste of time. I don't think I've ever walked out of one of these events being like, oh, that was a waste of time, because I just like meeting people. But if you're optimizing for, like we said before, happiness and close, meaningful relationships, then do things that you actually like and care about. Because one of the things that keep relationships going is common hobbies and common interests. And if you're doing the things that you like, if you're doing things that you actually care about, and you meet someone cool there, well, the chances of you having something in common is pretty high because like you're doing something you care about. So with that last point, do things that you love. The reason I put that point in there is because it makes this whole process scalable. Like what I was doing was I was actively trying to get people together, to create events, to find events and go to events. And that takes a lot of time, mental energy. You know, you have to like be in the right places. You have to know the right people. If you live a life where you're just doing things that you like, if you have hobbies, if you have goals, if you have things that you care about, organizations you're a part of where you're like, I really vibe with like their mission and what they're doing, you just make friends by default. And that's why that point is there, is because if you're doing point number 2, which was doing the things that you like, then you're just naturally going to meet people in those instances, and you don't have to try. Like it's effortless. And that's what I've come to learn, is that the friends that you vibe with the most are the most effortless, as odd as that sounds. So that's what I've learned over the past year, just going out and about, putting myself out there, spending all these time, meeting all these people and going to all these events. It's hard to find close friends, but if you find 2 to 3 really, really close friends, that's all you really need. And so you don't need a lot to be happy in the friendships department. Maybe that, or I'm just jaded and I'm just tired of meeting and like running through a lot of people. Yeah, that's it for this video. I'll put a summary of the stickies at the end here. I hope you learned something, and yeah, don't spend a year of your life just like mindlessly trying to meet as many people as you can without putting as much thought into it, because I think I could have spent my time better. I don't think I regret it, but I think I could have spent my time better. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.